stamina. Good coffee. Oh, delicious. I'm ready. Let's do this. Booyah! What up, you guys? Welcome back to another one of these videos. Today, I want to answer to a question. How do you know how long it takes to learn a new trick? Okay, so you're practicing juggling trick, or you want to learn a new juggling trick. How do you know how long it takes you to learn it? It's impossible to say, but I'm gonna give you some sort of tips that you can figure out a little bit how long it's gonna take for you to learn it. Now, first of all, so this was a question that I got, like in the comment section. It is very difficult to answer this because we all have different skill levels, we all learn differently. But so first of all, it depends a lot on how much you train, how much you practice your juggling. And it depends how much you have practiced before. And it depends how wide skill level, like set, you have, okay? So it's not just the hours that you put in. Like, people also don't realize this, that it's not the hours that you put in, it's also about the quality of the hours that you put in, okay? You know this saying that it takes 10,000 hours of practice to reach mastery, okay? But this is false, because it takes 10,000 good hours, like good training, with a purposeful training, constructed training, to learn mastery, okay? Because if you just train poorly, your training sessions are not good, it's gonna take you longer than 10,000 hours, okay? So when they say that 10,000 hours, it's not just the hours, it also has to have quality in it, all right? So when you train, remember to train with quality. Train with a plan. Make your training good, all right? So it depends on that. And also it depends on your previous skill level, and it depends how wide is your skill level set. Like, let's say you've done ball juggling, all right? You've done club juggling, you've done ring juggling, and then some body throws, body rolls, 360s. So this is like your skill level that you have. So if the new trick that you want to learn is within your skill level, meaning like you have practiced that same technique before, or like similar technique before. So you want to do some side swap, 3-up, 360, and you have done basic 3-up, 360, but now you want to do it like in a 7-4-4 pattern 360. So you have practiced that skill set before, you have done 3-up, 360s before, so now you want to learn just a different kind, okay? So that you're going to learn much faster. If the technique is completely new, you have never tried that technique before, you have never done that technique before, or the juggling prop is completely different, then it's going to take you longer, okay, usually. And all of these are like general guidelines, okay, because it's impossible to say exactly how long it's going to take. Now, so just so you know, if you've never done anything like that before, it's going to take you longer than if you would have done something like that before. So this is why some people learn so much faster some tricks, like some back cross tricks, for instance. If you have done a lot of back crosses before, it's easier to learn back cross tricks, and if you like them and you're good at them. But if you've never done back crosses before, it's really hard to learn back cross tricks. Like if you've never done 3-club back crosses and you want to know how long it's going to take you to learn 5-club back crosses, a long time, okay? Now, but how do you know? How do you get some sort of general idea? You get the idea by trying. Now, let me explain. So let's take 5-club back crosses. Now, first of all, you gotta realize, have you ever done that technique before? If you've never done that technique before, just take 1 club and practice the technique. Figure out how the technique works, okay? And then you're gonna see how well it goes. And then you get some sort of idea. If just 1 club, if the 1-club back cross is hard for you, then you know it's gonna take a really long time, like a year or 2 or something. But if you try, you know this, it's quite easy. it's very basic for you, you can do it very easily, and it goes well, then you know, all right, I have a chance of learning it much faster. Now, if you have done a little bit back crosses before, you can just try 5 clap back crosses. Try it. Okay, so this is like the level of never done before. This is 5 clap back crosses. Just try it, give it a try, and see how it feels. If it's like, oh my god, this is completely impossible, then you know it's gonna take some time. Then you try 4 clap exercises. So you figure out how you can make that trick easier. And usually, like with 5 clap back crosses, the easier version is have 4 claps. So you take one away and you try the same. So you do it like in a crossing pattern, like with 5 clap juggling, and you see if you can do that. So basically that will mean with 4 claps, you would try to do 4 clap singles and you do a flash of back crosses. Can you do that? And then would be some different exercises with 4 claps, easier, like 5-3. Can you do 5-3 where the 5 is back cross? Okay, can I do that one time? Can I do it continuously? So how well you can do those, and then you're gonna try easier ones. Okay, and easier ones would be like you do well, different size of like 5-5-2, stuff like this. But then you go even easier, 3 claps. So you practice with 3 claps. You try just high throws, flashes, fast throws, snake. So you do all these different exercises with 3 claps, and you're trying to find your base level. Okay, so the level that you're at. And once you find the level that you're at, like, okay, I can do a little bit of 3 clap exercises, back cross exercises. Now you know, okay, I'm here. And then you're gonna improve a little bit. You're gonna try do it more continuously. You're gonna try a little bit harder exercises, and you find out the level you're at. Okay, and then you practice those, let's say 1 or 2 weeks. Then you're gonna figure out how quick you learn those exercises, like those next level exercises, and how easy it is for you to improve your technique within those exercises. Now you get a little bit of idea how long it's gonna take you to learn all of these other exercises until you get to the 5 clap back crosses. So this is what you need to do. You need to try the trick, find easier versions of the trick, and see your level where you're at. Okay, and with 5 claps, you're gonna go all the way down until you have only 1 clap, and until you find like the level you're at. Okay, and then you're gonna try to improve a little bit, like 1 or 2 weeks, and you see how that technique feels for you. Is it easy for you, or is it really, really hard? Like if it comes very easily, you can learn a few of the tricks, you can improve every day a little bit. You know that, all right, this trick is possible to learn quite quickly. But if it is like really difficult to do those exercises, really, really hard to improve, then you just know, all right, it's gonna take me a long time. And remember, if you practice well, if you know exercises you wanna do, if you know what, like how the technique works, and what is the next exercise, all this kind of stuff, if you know this, you're gonna learn much faster. So this is also why it's important to know what you're practicing and to know all the steps that you want to do. Okay, another trick example, like some sort of 3-ball, like the question was like some 3-ball multiplex trick. Let's say it's like some 3-ball Mills mess multiplex variation. All right, so you figure out what the trick is, you try and see how it feels. Is it possible to do even a little bit? If you can do it even a little bit, you know, all right, I can get there quite quickly. Okay, in a few weeks it will start to go. But if it's really, really difficult for you, if it's like impossible to do, all right, it's gonna take me a long time, but let's try with less. Let's try easier version. Is there an easier version to do the trick? Okay, maybe without the extra spin or without some body throw. So you try to figure out what is the easier version, and then you make even more easier version and more easier version, maybe with 2 balls, maybe with 1 ball, and you find what you can do. So now again, you find the level that you're at, and then you know the steps that you need to take. All right, I'm here now. Then you try a little bit, you try to climb up those techniques and see how well it goes. And if it goes, it's like, yeah, these are possible, you just need to practice a little bit, then you know, all right, I'm gonna get there quickly. But if it's just like, oh my god, this is so difficult, this is so hard, then you know it's gonna take you a long time. But remember this, you wanna know the steps. So this is something that I try to teach always my students. You need to figure out the steps, okay? Because it's much easier to know what the next step is if you, or it's much easier to do the next step if you know what the next step is. Okay, like this, you know. Oh my god, so good. But yeah, so it's impossible to say how long it's gonna take you, but doing it like this, figuring out the level that you're at to learning the trick, it's gonna give you some idea how long it's gonna take you. Okay, first of all, you're gonna get an idea if you like the trick or not, because a lot of times we see a trick, oh my god, that is so cool, and then you try it and it's like, oh, I hate this technique, I hate this technique so much. So sometimes you don't want to practice the trick because it don't feel good, and sometimes it might go like, it's very, very hard for you to learn because you may have a wrong technique. So always figure out the right technique, the correct, good technique, and then maybe not the correct technique, but at least good technique. See if you have a good technique for the trick. I see a lot of people, they try to learn some 360s or some back crosses and stuff like this, and their technique is terrible and they never learn it. Well, it's because your technique is terrible. So try to see if you have a good technique. Remember, it all starts with a good technique. And then try it out a little bit. Give it a try, train it for a week or two, and find the level that you're at and train those basic steps and see how well you can learn those, how quickly you can learn those. So it gives you sort of like an idea how well you can practice that technique, how well you can learn that. All right? And obviously every once in a while, just try it, see how much closer you are of getting that trick. And also remember, when you practice well. So it's all about how you practice, how you train your juggling. That will give you so much quicker results if you know what you're doing in the training hall. All right? Do I have another point? Probably not. All right. Anyways, I hope that gives some sort of an idea, like how to know how much you need to practice, how long it's gonna take. Like I said, it's impossible to say like weeks or something. It's impossible to say like, all right, you want to learn the 5 club back crosses, you can do 10 in a row of 3 club flashes in back crosses. So now you know it's gonna take you 12 weeks to get 10 throws of 5 club back crosses. No, like it's impossible to say like this. But you can know, and this is what happens also with experience, once you do this a little bit, you can feel like you practice those steps a little bit, like 1 week or so, then you know if you improve, how much you improve. By having experience with this, you will start to see that, all right, it's gonna take me like a month or two, or all right, it's gonna take me like a year or two. I've had these tricks. I've had the bouncing, the stick with the ball bouncing on top, the board jigging pole. I remember when I first started doing that, like, oh my god, this is not gonna work. It's gonna take me years. And it did actually take me like 2 years to learn it. But it was because I had no idea what I was doing. Now when I teach that trick to other people, they learn it much faster because I can give them tips on how to practice it. But I didn't have any of that, so it took me 2 years to learn. But if I would have known what to do, if I would have all these steps, if I would have this knowledge that I do have now, back then, it would have been so much faster. Like I could have learned it in a few months. But this is why I want to share all this information with you guys, and hopefully you get stuff from this video, so to help you learn faster. Okay, cool. Let me know if that made any sense, if it helped you at all, because if it didn't, I can try to make a new video. But anyways, if you have some questions, please let me know in the comments and I will try to make a video about it or reply in the text. Now it's super cold here in Finland, so I'm not training as much. It's gonna get warmer in a few weeks, so then I will start making more juggling videos again, because now I'm on a tour here. But like we had snow today, like today, snow in April again, so it is still quite cold. But yeah, it's gonna get warmer. Anyway, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.